There we go. Hey, howdy, folks. Mr. Multimedia here. Sorry that I was a little bit later showing in to the stream. Basically, what happened was I was reading through all the changelog stuff that has changed about King of the Castle ever since I last played it, and there's been a fair bit changed. Not too much that I think that you'll immediately notice, like how the UI looks or anything like that, but it does look as though there is a fair amount, mechanics-wise, that is either changed or has been considered or things like that, so might be pretty interesting to see in the future how that goes. All right. Today, the plan is to play King of the Castle. However, the difficult thing about this is that it is a game. The fun thing and difficult thing about this, it's a game that requires an audience. It's a game that requires there to be people that are going to play along with you, sort of like Jackbox party game style. Because of that, it generally takes a little bit of time for, once you've started a stream, for people to trickle in and be like, oh yes, sure, I want to play this game, rather than just like look at it from the sidelines, right? So we have to keep that in mind with the fact that that potentially is going to be something slowing us down a little bit, which is fine. It's okay. But it, hold on a second. The volume on this is like way too quiet, isn't it? Have you seen the new Demonology game? It's like Phasmophobia. It's still in early access. I haven't seen that. Okay, hold on. I think this master volume might be a little bit better. Also, I'm pretty sure we set the stream settings. Yes. Okay, the stream settings are now set so that it's a lot more true to time. I'm streaming at technically like a little bit slower of a not slower. I'm streaming at a slightly less high quality stream. So it's like, oh, you can't turn it up to like certain levels of graphics and stuff like that. But at the same time, the trade-off is the stream looks a lot nicer. It is going to function a lot. Sorry, when I say it looks a lot nicer, I mean that it's going to function a lot more close to real time. So I'm going to be like showing you a game on screen or a choice that you have to make on stream, and I will read it out at the same time that it is popping up on your device. So that's more convenient, that the timing of us interacting is a little closer. It's still like 2 seconds off or so, which sort of makes sense, right? Like, it's not going to be immediate that you're able to see everything I have set up on this side. So, kind of nice there, though. Okay, I think this is good. Maybe I should turn up the volume a little bit more. I think that'll do it for us. Yeah, you can still hear the music, but you can still hear me. I'm pretty sure that's at the level that we're at right now. Okay, I'm going to throw us over into the gaming area. You'll notice that I don't yet have a room code listed, and that's because I need to get the game properly put up. So here we go, King of the Castle. There we go, okay. Yes, okay, yeah, there was a launch patch that worked on balance changes to help monarchs and people like that. So there we go. Hopefully that'll work. Maybe I'll manage to actually get a victory this time. I've declared war on you all. Okay. So, we're going to open up a brand new dynasty here. Now, the reason we're not continuing the old one is twofold. First off, since there have been patch updates, I don't know if our, like, inherited sections of rules and followings and stuff like that will end up being a good thing to try to continue playing in. Okay, that's the first reason. The second reason is there are other factions beyond just the 3 that we've been playing with, the blue, the purple, the yellow. So because of that, I kind of want to try some of the other guys out a little bit. We'll see how that goes. So we're going to go ahead and name ourselves Mr. Multimedia. The dynasty... Oh, tell you what, actually, let's just call ourselves Mr. M. There we go, Mr. M. And the dynasty can be the Multimedians. There we go. Okay, King Mr. M of the Multimedians dynasty. So we'll go ahead and begin that there. We are going to do a party game, which would allow us to play with up to 24 people. So... you're going to be able to join in mid-game. You're going to be able to make decisions, to try to fight against me, to dethrone me. The point of this game is kind of like a Jackbox party game where only one person needs to own it and everyone else can end up playing just by logging in and watching the stream and then using their own phone or their own computer. You don't need to buy the game. You don't need to have the game on lockdown. It is just something that you can pull up another device, log in, and play. So, because of that, we need to pick what teams you guys are potentially going to join when you log in to play. Because it's going to automatically sort you into one of these 3 different groups that we pick that are trying to go about ruling this new land, although I, the king, am sort of stopping you maybe from having everything go exactly the way you want it to. For sure, for sure. Thank you, Jet. All right, so I can tell you right now, for sure we want the Barons of the March to be involved here, because we haven't seen them yet, and the Patricians of the Coast, we're also going to have them involved here, because everyone that we've done up to this point was Chiefs of the North, Counts of the East, and Grandees of the South. Those were the 3 teams that we'd been using up to this point. Basically, it was the Viking guys, the Vampire European guys, and legitimately, actually, I don't know what group these guys were supposed to represent. I think they're just supposed to be faithful, religious people. I don't think there's technically, like, a single culture that's mapped onto them. I might be wrong about that, but... Okay, so, we are going to add in the Patricians of the Coast, which is the green team over here. The Patricians of the Coast are wealthy, seafaring merchants, noted for their cleverness, skill in negotiation, and ornate masks. Yeah, so basically they're going to be very, very proficient in everything economically. They're going to have a lot of schemes relating to finances, and they're going to always be wearing masks like they're attending some sort of, you know, masquerade ball or something like that. They're pretty cool. I do like them. Some of their money-making schemes end up getting old quickly because it's just like, well, okay, so this is just another way to get money. And I don't know. They're fine enough. I think that they're an interesting group. But you have to bring them down the more interesting routes rather than just money, money, money. The other one that we're going to activate here is Barons of the March. Barons of the March is the red team. The red team says that the Barons are brash rural lords, famous for their belligerence and fondness for hunting. Huzzah! hey, Willip. But yes, so the Barons are going to be people that, they're very much hunters. They'll invite you to go hunting with them. They'll plan hunting accidents. Yeah, they're just these, very much the sort of people you'd be like, oh yes, so all the nobles are going hunting today. That's them. That's their identity. That's their culture. They're a bit loud-spoken. They're a little bit stubborn. It mentions their belligerence, right? So that's something that we have to worry about when they're a member of our team here. So we're turning on the Barons. We're turning on the Patricians. Fantastic. Happy to hear it, Spookcat. Okay, so we're turning on both of these groups. We need to choose to either add in the Vikings, the European vampires, or the extremely religious people. We need to figure out which ones we're going to add. I would think that we would have more fun adding in the Chiefs of the North. And I say that because seeing 2 different groups that are known for like combat and hunting, I think will make that a lot more interesting, but I'm not sure. I think technically the more balanced option is probably either purple or yellow now that I think about it. It would be easier for me to win if it's red, blue, and green, because I think red and blue would kind of be countering each other. Green would sort of be doing their own thing. You know what? I don't want green to have an edge over everyone else, so we should pick one of these guys. Let's pick yellow. No, we're going to pick purple. I think purple is good, because purple generally cares about a weird arrangement of stuff like farming and religion. At least how I've seen so far. So I feel like these 3 groups are going over different things. Yeah, we'll go for that. Okay, so we are going to connect to the game server. The room code is going to be... Mea. M-E-A-H. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in as our room code here. M-E-A-H. Remember, all you have to do in order to be able to join the game is you go to this website, kotc.app, and you put in the room code M-E-A-H. Jerbubble the Grandee. You... I see. You didn't end up joining the Grandees, unfortunately. Counts of the East just says, ha 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 ha. Oh gosh. Okay. I can see though. I'm pretty sure Jerbubble the Grandee. They're pointing out the fact that we don't actually have the Grandees here. The Grandees aren't a member of our fight here. So like the yellow team is normally the Grandees, but we chose to change it up a little bit this time because we wanted these groups we hadn't seen before, the red group and the green group, to actually join us this time. You can still be a grandee in spirit. Maybe you married into the Barons of the March family. You'd think that it would, like... I don't know what this parentheses here is starting. It looks like you can put in, like, really long names. Yeah, let's just say that. Okay, all right. Jerbobble the Grandee, married into the family, or got adopted or something like that into the Barons of the March. Now, in order to make sure that we actually have a full complement of players, I'll go ahead right now and add in a dummy player just so that we can get started. Because generally, as we actually start to play the game, we start to have people pop in a little bit later and join different teams and help make decisions there. So I think that that's what we'll go ahead and do that. They didn't say anything. They typed in the words "content deleted." So it normally it doesn't show content deleted like that, like text, unless you actually type it in. Yeah. Okay, here we go. We'll join in as a guest. We'll just make it be victim. Yeah, just victim. We'll just call them victim. Okay. All right, and the code is MEAH. Okay. Victim has joined the Patricians of the Coast. That's what it is. It's the pronouns. I forgot that. Okay. Alrighty then. Here we go. So I'm going to press begin game. We'll see if we end up getting a few more people to join in just a little bit. Right now, the Patricians won't have someone joining them. But yes, because we are starting a brand new campaign here in order to get the new people, the new factions into the game, so we're not just playing with the same blue, purple, yellow that we've always been playing with. We're going to go ahead and kind of see these same introductions. So, council introduction, we actually get to meet our different people. Now that you're the king, your first duty is to meet with the Council of Nobles. Hey, MrM, you should buy some mochi ice cream and try them on stream. Huh, I haven't tried mochi ice cream before. It'd be interesting. Mochi is, it's that Japanese thing, right? Where it's the, like, pounded rice or something like that? Pounded rice cakes? Rice pastries? I might be wrong about that. I know the whole, I don't know if it's actually rice now that I think about it, but I'm pretty sure it is. I know the whole, like, you use the hammers and, like, whack, and then, like, another person will, like, fold it over on itself, whack, fold it over on itself, whack, and you're using, like, this wooden hammer. Oh, the brand is My Mochi. Oh, some My Mochi ice cream. Oh, interesting. Interesting thought. All right, so the Chancellor is telling us we're going to meet with the Council of Nobles. Your nobles hail from all across the kingdom, the desolate east, the wealthy coast, and of course, the bleak march. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. We'll introduce ourselves first to the Patrician of the Coast. It's a soft rice cake filled with ice cream. Oh, that could be interesting. Noble Patrician Victim says, "A pleasure, your esteemed highness. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign." So I'll introduce myself to the Counts of the East. This is Count Ha 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 Ha. An honor to finally make your acquaintance, your highness. May you escape the doom that befell your predecessor. And from the north, sorry, the March. Yeah, the Barons of the March. Baron Jerbobble the Grandee says, "Hail and well met, my liege. Under your leadership, we'll whip this kingdom into shape. And with that, the introductions are done. The council hall immediately fills with raised voices as the nobles argue with each other and demand your favor. You sigh and sit back. Is this what the council is like? No wonder your father told you to avoid the throne at all costs." Okay, here we go. So, next we'll go ahead and say the path of victory. Let's figure out what it is that I want to do to win the game. Your Majesty, the first few years of your reign are the most difficult. You're new and unproven. The nobles of the council will scheme against you, hoping to kick you off the throne and put their own claimant puppet in your place. All right. One or more of our regions has no nobles. Someone ended up having to leave the game for a little bit here. So we'll go ahead and kind of discuss what the game is a little bit more. Someone will hopefully end up joining the game and it will kind of resume from there. The point of this game is I am a noble that is placed over everyone else, and I am going to try to win this game by sort of placing all three of you guys against each other. So the barons versus the counts versus the patricians. You guys are trying to make sure that your own group ends up winning. So we're going to be making some different decisions here. I'm going to be trying to raise up certain stats. You're going to try to be raising up other stats. Maybe they work together. Maybe they don't. Either way, we're going to end up being at odds one with another in the end. So, these people want to go ahead and put a puppet claimant in my place. And I'll ask, how can I stop them? To defeat their schemes, you must secure an heir and prove that you are worthy of the crown by completing an ambition. So I need to get married and have a kid, and then I also need to complete an ambition. My question is this: when you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? And this is where I get to decide the ambition. This is the stat that I'm trying to raise up the most for all of us. So I could say, for example, that I really want trade to be really high, right? And say that I want to be the architect of a new golden age. That would be, I want everyone's trade to be high. I could go ahead and say something like, I want to be the greatest king who ever lived, which is, I would want my authority to raise up and up and up. I could say I want to be remembered as a conqueror and try to get everyone's military up pretty high. I could say I want to be a peacekeeper, want to be remembered as a peacekeeper, which would be try to keep stability nice and high. As a father of the nation means I'm trying to keep farming high. And then as a saint with the goal of faith, would be trying to increase that. Right now, it looks like farming and trade are probably the best options. I'm thinking trade might be a solid goal. Thinking trade is probably a good goal. Other than that, I would consider authority or stability, but I think that those swing up and down so much more that I'm going to say I want to be remembered as the architect of a new golden age. Well, a lofty goal indeed. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's overall trade as much as possible. Once you have an heir, I will return to discuss how your ambition is progressing. Good luck, Your Majesty. Okay. Let's have the coronation. And this is the first time that you guys get to see the mechanics of voting in this game. So everyone that plays this game gets a chance to vote. I just realized that I haven't been looking at this. Yes, okay. You mean, what do you want to do to lose the game? Well, thanks. Okay, so this is the voting section that we're going to have. And there are a number of times where this ends up happening. Sometimes it's for one person's unique events. Sometimes it's for everyone's unique events. Sometimes it's something that only each group can decide. So it's like, only the patricians get to vote here. Only the counts get to vote here. Only the barons get to vote here. But we are going to make votes over the decisions of the kingdom. So we're going to learn a little bit more about this right here. Your Majesty, I've scheduled your coronation to take place in a week's time. Shouldn't I be giving the orders now? Of course, Your Majesty, but to delay any longer would make the nobles restless. And when nobles get restless, they take their daggers and look for the nearest back. I would say we wouldn't want that, I suppose. As is traditional, the council will decide what happens at your coronation. Let's get this over with then. Shall we call the nobles in? Okay. I will not yet start the vote. We're going to hold off on starting the vote until I can explain how this works. But we are now much less lagged, which means you're only, once I press start the vote, in about 2 seconds from that point, you will be able to start voting right away. Okay? So, you now get to decide what sort of coronation should be held for the new king. So you can pick between A, B, C, or D unless I do something else. And you'll see what that is in a little bit. If you vote for A, you will host a lavish parade with jugglers and fountains of wine, which means my treasury will go down. I'll start to go a little bit bankrupt. Welcome back, I will be. I'll start to become a little bit bankrupt here, but the stability of the realm will go up. It's good either way, right? You guys potentially want my treasury to go down, because if I go bankrupt, then that's a way that I can end up losing the game. But yeah, consider that, right? There's normally sort of like a give and take sort of dynamic to it. If you're raising up stability, it might make it hard if your goal is to lower the stability of the realm. B, you could invite foreign dignitaries and show off our wealth. Once again, money from the treasury would be lost, this time 1,800, so I would take out half of my money right off the bat. However, trade would raise across the kingdom. Everyone would have an increase in trade, And most importantly for you guys, all of your individual wealth, the money that you can use to buy certain buildings later on, all of you would have 900 more wealth each. Oh, Jet says, I sadly cannot join tonight. Much love, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate you coming by anyway. So yes, so the treasury would get depleted, but all of your trade would go up, and all of your personal finances to buy stuff would also go up. So that's there. C, you could choose to throw the king into the river, which would raise the stability but lower the authority. Kind of a meh sort of thing overall. Or you can vote for D, outdated traditions. There's no need for a coronation at all. And it would just be that the authority lowers down. Okay? So, I'll be honest, right now, at this first kind of point of everything, I don't think that there's an option that is better for you guys than it is for me, or worse for me than for you guys. Really, any of these work well with the playstyle that I've chosen. Potentially, I guess that you guys would maybe want my treasury to be really low, but I also want the wealth to be higher, and I don't really care. Sorry, I also want trade to be higher, and I don't really care about your guys' wealth. So it might be that you end up voting for B, because it hurts me a bit, and you get some more money, but I also get what I want. So I will say the monarch's choice, the one that I think that you guys should go for, and there's no incentive to do this, it's just a recommendation, is to vote for B. Later on, there may be benefits if you end up voting for what I suggest. If you want to join in the game, all you have to do is, do you see down to the bottom left of me right now, how I have a link written out on the page right here, right? So this link, www.kotc.app, if you type that in on a computer, on a cell phone, anywhere where you can actually like access the internet, if you type that in on and access that website, you can then access, you can then join this game for free. You don't have to buy the game, you don't have to have a copy of the game, you don't have to like do a subscription or even sign in or anything. You can join as a guest and it won't even remember your information in the future, which is great. If you press that you want to sign in as a guest, it will then ask for you to put in your name, the name you want to go by, and it will ask for you to put in your room code. So the room code for this area is MEAH. MEAH is our room code. So you can just access it right down there. Technically, you can join in at any time. You can also leave at any time, although if too many people, like if we only have, for example, one representative in each of the kingdoms, one of these groups over here with the barons, the counts, the patricians, and one of the groups ends up leaving, it pauses the game until we get a new person in there. So that's something to consider. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the vote. And so in order to start the vote, I will remind you guys, I think the best option here is B. You are not required to pick that one, but I think it's the best one for you. I think it's the best one for me. I say we should go for it. You can choose one of these other options, though, if you think that fits your own needs a little bit better. The voting has started. Ha 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 has decided outdated traditions. There's no need for a coronation at all. They want me to immediately start breaking away from everyone. Jerbobble the Grandee is going with the monarch's choice. Great, happy to hear it. It's a pretty fun game. It has like a strange amount of strategy to it, and I quite enjoy it. Aha, I see a Wilpie has managed to join the barons. So that'll be fun for us. All right, we'll go ahead and continue. The voting has closed. 2 nobles voted for this. Ooh, I didn't know that there was like a little fanfare that plays. You all have voted to invite foreign dignitaries and show off our wealth. The treasury has gone down a lot. Ugh. Dignitaries arrive from all corners of Celeste Oth, and it's only appropriate you show off. A trained eagle drops a ruby-encrusted crown atop your head as you stand on a golden podium. The odd crowd includes such influential figures as the Dukes of Saul, the Princes of Tavalin, and even a pearl-bearer from Adesh. Lucrative trade deals are struck at the evening's feast. Well, there we go, yes. So, trade has gone up across the kingdom, which is great. All of your guys' wealth has increased, which is fantastic. You lost your yellow belt. Oh, are you talking about for the grandees? Sorry. Only the Grand Pensionary of Kurth is not in attendance. The Republic, after all, is fundamentally opposed to the very concept of monarchy. Okay, we're going to go ahead and end the season, and this is where you guys now get to vote a little bit yourself. So, This is where you get to choose what your particular group is going to try to do to win the game. This is going to be at least the first step of what you're trying to do. Oh, that, and for martial arts. Oh, I didn't know you could lose belts. Okay. Rudolph. Oh, I think you're just saying that, like, you have misplaced it. Not that as though it got, like, stripped away from you. You have been demoted. Okay, so Rudolph from the Barons of the March says, "When have the Barons of the March backed down from a fight? Never! I know you'll do whatever it takes to put me, your rightful king, on the throne." You just misplaced it. Got it. Okay, Red, you get to vote. Are two people, which I believe are Spookcat and a Wilp. Right? You guys get to vote what it is that you think is the best scheme to overthrow the new king and place your own claimant, Rudolph, on the throne. Do you wish to have modernization, where you attempt to lower everyone's military? Do you want to attempt to spread propaganda to lower the stability of the realm? Or do you want to attempt gunpowder, which is lower the authority? I have no clue what that particular plan is. Propaganda seems like a pretty solid choice. Stability gets lowered pretty quickly. And everyone else has decent enough military that I think you might have picked one of the best choices there. A Wilp says, "What's your favorite country not in North America?" That would be Finland. Absolutely. Oh, it said game paused and it didn't let you vote. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Well, it does look like propaganda here has been selected. Lower stability. The Barons plans to persuade the population that only a charismatic general can protect them. Oh, the Barons plan. I thought that it was saying the Barons plan to do this will end up like, no, I thought it was noun. The Barons, like the Barons plan that they are going to enact, but no, it was the Barons plan to persuade. Their plan is to persuade the population that only a charismatic general can protect them. First, the common folk must be afraid. To advance their scheme, the Barons must lower stability to 4 or less in 3 seasons. Only to 4? I'm on 5. Okay, so you guys want the stability of this realm to lower. So you guys are going to try to lower the stability at least by 1 by the end of 3 seasons. And seasons are just the amount of time it takes for... Hold on, sorry. I'm just realizing now. There we go. Seasons are the amount of time it takes for 1 round of play. So, after 3 rounds, you have to attempt to lower the stability a little bit. And you can even see that up in here. Okay, good. All right. Altheus says, "Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of King MrM. Something must be done." Okay, so Victim, I believe, is our only person on this particular team. They can either say that they want to have the lowest defiance by the end. They can say that they want to raise others' defiance, which is technically the same thing. Or they want the treasury to be even lower due to conspiracy. I think it's more fun to have them attempt to put a doppelganger on the throne. This is just a more fun option, I think. So here we go. Voting has closed. Victim has voted for doppelganger. All right. The patricians plan to swap the real king for a perfect doppelganger. First, they must gain the trust of the spy master. To advance their scheme, the patricians must be the region with the lowest defiance in 2 seasons. Oh my goodness, they get to start much faster than everyone else. They technically have the lowest because they're tied for the lowest. Okay, purple, ha 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 ha. You get to now decide on your side here. Gromery says, "My fellow counts, in ancient times the East was its own proud kingdom. We can bring back those days of glory, but not while the false king MrM wears the crown." So, here we go. You can vote either for subterfuge, where you want to have lowered stability. You could vote for a blood ritual, where you attempt to have the highest farming in the realm, which right now you do have. Good idea. Or ascension, where you want to lower your own faith, which also works for you. They have chosen to go for subterfuge. I believe that is probably because Red is also attempting to lower stability. So it makes sense. Oh no. It makes sense that both of these people want stability to be lowered. You guys will have basically total control over the voting block because you guys are the 4 actual players here. And I'm just myself, and then there's a green victim that's halfway getting controlled until other green people join in. Oh boy. Oh wait, look at this, we can see the noble list. Ah, I didn't know that we could do that. Look at that. So yes, we can see how much money each group has. This is nice. I don't think they had the noble list as an option before. I might be wrong about that, but yes, okay. So you can see that Spook Cat ended up needing to leave for at least a little bit. MrM, your class saved me. In engineering, we needed to make a logo, and I used Pixlr E, which I didn't know of until your class. Ah, I see. Spook Cat has returned. They are good to play still. All right. Okay, Purple. You're trying to lower the stability just like Red. The Count's plan to replace the King's advisors with their own agents. First, they must prove they are doing a bad job. To advance their scheme, the Counts must lower stability to 4 or less in 3 seasons. Your Majesty, these upstarts are saying they have a right to your throne. No doubt the nobles are already scheming to crown the region's preferred claimant. So you can see that this is technically in 3 steps, right? So you need to complete 3 different objectives. First objective, second objective, third objective, in order to be able to do this. We can see the Barons of the March. It's the ambitious vassal that says that they have a right to the throne. Grommery is the treacherous half-brother that claims that they have a right to the throne. And Altheus is an offshoot, apparently, from the throne. Like, one of our parents had another child. And so they technically have some, like, royal blood within them. Yeah. Okay. So, here we go. There are a couple of things we can do here. Tell you what, let's do my event last. We're going to start with Green's events. Pirates! You must do something about the pirates that have been plaguing the coast's ocean trade routes. I lost a whole shipment of fine silks. And they killed the crew, of course, who won't be cheap to replace. Oh no, the wealth went down of Green. Alright, well the treasury is too low to pay the pirates. So, yeah, that's a thing. You could either order the coast's navy to patrol the sea routes, or you could simply say there's nothing to be done. That would raise the defiance of Green, it would lower the trade across the realm, and it would lower Green's wealth as well, which is unfortunate. Will P, stop trying to post that. That dude has joined in, I believe. Yes, they are currently... Yeah, they're bird coucher here. They're the purple one. All right. Okay, here we go. So, I would think that there's not really a big choice here. Like, if we attempt to go for the military, that's almost certainly going to fail. I don't want trade in the region to get lowered down. Your Steam name is different. That's totally fine. Don't even worry about it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and... should I veto this or should I veto another one? I'm gonna hold on to my veto. Because I feel that if I veto here, then you guys might be able to lower my stability when I don't want you to. So we're going to worry about that in just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to start the vote. You guys can decide. Are we going to go for the 30% chance of ordering the coast's navy to patrol the sea routes? Or are you simply going to say, there's nothing to be done? I see that dude immediately goes for the defiance option. So does Red, and at this point, I don't think that we can end up not choosing that there's nothing to be done. Yep. Lovely, 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 lovely. I'll go ahead and have Victim decide as well that there's nothing to be done, just so that the vote ends a little faster. The voting is closed. 4 nobles voted that there is nothing to be done. The patricians scowl behind their masks and retreat to their opium dens, where they no doubt wonder why they have a king in the first place. The Defiance, they are now insolent, which is really good for you guys. The Coast says that trade is now prosperous, so trade has gone down in the region, and the individual wealth of this patrician ended up going down by 300, it looks like. On top of the 300 it had already gone down before. Over the coming month, their trade routes are blighted by escalating pirate routes. Still, what are you expected to do? Pirates are a natural risk of seafaring, like sharks or scurvy. Okay, let's go to the east now. There are some missing nobles, apparently. Baron Jarbubble the Grandee says, Your Highness, A number of barons have gone missing in the east. They traveled to Count Birdcatcher that dude's castle to negotiate a trade agreement, but they should have returned weeks ago. The missing barons never even made it to my lands. They most likely got lost. The east is a dangerous place. Who's gone missing? Anyone I care about? Or where could they have gone? I'll say, anyone I care about? Oh, you'll notice also, Birdcatcher that dude apparently owns the game, because their name here is Glinting Gold. Well done for buying the game yourself. I actually really do like this game. It's only like $5. I think it's well worth it. Like, I have more than $5 of fun every time I play this game. Oh, you just heard that Green lost money on it. Ah. I see. Who's gone missing? Anyone I care about? 3 barons are missing. Lorenz, Rain, and Baron Awilp. Oh no! One of our players is missing. One of our players has been... I don't know. Maybe they've gone missing. Maybe they've been abducted. Maybe they just got lost. You're missing now. Where could they have gone? Just north of my estate lies the Mold Patter Forest. To the west, the Twilight Lakeland. And to the south, Ilarion's Haunt. I like to live remotely. It does wonders for the soul. I'm certain that this is some kind of ploy by Count Birdcatcher that dude. In a few months' time, he'll quietly offer us a ransom. Blood and stars, don't be foolish. We'll find them. We just have to decide where to focus our efforts. So here we go. We get to decide. Oh! So we can either choose to search Mold Patter Forest, the Twilight Lakeland, Ilarion's Haunt, or we choose to search nowhere. Count Birdcatcher that dude will instead be executed for abducting them. So, everyone, what do you think is the answer here? You all get to vote. Oh, what's that dude? You heard Green was gonna lose some money and you voted for it? Well, I heard someone might lose their head. Wonder if I should just vote for that one, huh? Oh, that dude wants to live. I wonder if anyone will take mercy on that dude. Now, here is the thing. I will say this. I haven't seen this event before. I legitimately don't know the correct answer. I don't know if there even is a correct answer. Most likely, this leads to multiple different options depending on what we pick. I bet if we pick the Mold Patter Forest, that a future round, we have everyone search in the Mold Patter Forest. Or if we pick the Twilight Lakeland, in a future round, everyone will search in the Twilight Lakeland. Or Ilarion's Haunt. We'll end up figuring out more about Ilarion's Haunt. This line of questing might just end if we go ahead and just execute him. Right? If I die, I'll curse you and your cow. Oh, pulling a Mulan reference on us. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow. All right. I am going to say personally, my personal choice here, I would love for us to search a lakeland. I feel like we would end up finding out a little bit more about this particular area. I think a lakeland could be very interesting. I think that's more interesting than simply murdering Count Birdcatcher, that dude, and executing them because they might maybe have abducted some nobles, right? There is a chance that a Wilp will end up being safe if we search these lands. So I will go ahead and start the vote. I'm not gonna take anything off. Wow, immediately just click. Murder. Execution. Murder. Okay, I see. It's purple versus red. So the funny thing is here, I have two options, technically. I could make green vote here, of course, right? That's the first thing I could do, is I could just make green vote here, and that would definitely decide it. Or if there's a tie, I, as the ruler, I, as the noble, just get to decide anyway. I am going to say, since we are tied at 2, I will personally say that we are going to search in the Twilight Lakeland. And that is my choice. 2 nobles voted for this. Congratulations. A detachment of elite trackers are sent over the vast lakeland to search for a Whoop and the other barons, but they turn up nothing. Nothing to do with the missing nobles, anyway. Your Majesty, you'll never guess what we found. It's not Baron Awilp, but it's just as exciting, perhaps more. It's the fabled Melancholy Lake. I know it's Melancholy Lake. It's the fabled Melancholy Lake. The very same one in which Queen Sashara drowned herself after her sons were murdered. How exquisitely cultural. Aye, how wonderful. I'm so happy for you. Baron Awilp has died. Awilp II has joined the council. So don't worry, you're still in this game, you still get to decide things. You will just notice that now you are Awilp II. You still have everything else the same. The furthest I've seen it gone is Awilp III. Or like, I've seen it gone to the third line of lineage. It was me or you. Wahoo! I legitimately thought that there was a chance we were going to be able to save you. I legitimately thought that we were going to be able to search that area on a future quest and end up finding you. Sorry. Yeah, Spookcat says, my character died twice, yeah. So it sounds like red and purple may not be so allied after all. Curiouser and curiouser. The Honor Guard. And now that you're king, you need personal protection. Why, I could plunge my sword into your heart right now, could I not? I suppose so. You need an honor guard to keep you safe from such dangers, your majesty. Unfortunately, this is a political decision. Oh, boy. So, what about the Palace Watch? Hoorah! Don't make me laugh, your majesty. These tin soldiers can keep out the riffraff, but do you expect them to stand up to a warlock or a child of the Viper? Or me, for that matter? Kevin says, I'll come back in a bit. I have to do something. All right. Kevin, when you do come back, you can actually join us here. If the lights don't go out on me. Aww. What are my options? Each region offers a selection of elite guards. The counts with Knights of the Order of the Drowned Rose, the patricians with champion gladiators from the arena, and the barons offer a squad of battle-hardened veteran soldiers. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Kevin, if you've been messaging, I'm so sorry. None of them have gone through. I'm so sorry. Not a single one has. Oops. Kevin, are you ha 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 ha? Have you been joining us this whole time and I just didn't realize it? That's funny. Okay. Think carefully, your majesty. These guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Oh, Bob the Frog is ha 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 ha. Okay, I got it. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. The guards' loyalties will be divided between you and their region. Of course, you could just hire foreign mercenaries. They'll be loyal to coin above all. Whoa, all of a sudden we hopped up to like 18 viewers. Interesting. Hello, folks. Welcome. Feel free to join our game here. This is basically Jackbox party game sort of thing, where everyone can join in and join in a strategy party game. Yeah, we just hopped up to like 18 concurrent viewers right now. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully it's not just a bunch of bots. Sometimes it is. It's 23 now? Wow. Okay, cool. Now it's 32. What is happening? Surely this is a bot of some kind. I mean, hey, I'll take it. Hello, if there are any real people in the mix. Hello. And welcome. We're playing King of the Castle. I always misname this game, and I accidentally say like For the King or King of the Crown. It's King of the Castle. It's a game that you can just join in and play, very much Jackbox party style. Just type in the website to the left of us, join in. Don't call me Shirley. And you can join in with lists of nobles that are trying to dethrone me. I can tell you right now, if there are this many of you, I probably will not win. Well, let's find out more about the different groups here. So we're learning about the different knights that are available here for us. The Order of the Drowned Rose are highly respectable. They'll understand palace etiquette, but it's been years since they fought an actual battle. They mostly write poems these days. The Coastal Gladiators are a gang of low-born crooks who turn themselves into celebrities through their skill at chopping other people to bits. We're just all counting this. We're just watching the numbers just go up. Me, on my side, I'm looking at a graph could just go like directly upward. Here, let me show you what the graph looks like. If I pop over really quick to gosh, is it full screen gaming? Yes, there we go. Okay, if I move my head, see the graph over here? Look at that graph. That graph Look at this graph. This graph shows the number of people that we have in our chat, right? So it's like, oh, at a little past 7 o'clock, we had 4 people in the chat. At 7:30, we had 5 people in the chat. Now we have 36 people in the chat. Down to 35 the very next second. The graph knows all. Mr. Mception. Okay, let's go back to the game. All right. So, these guys are a gang of lowborn crooks. We already know this. They're vain and selfish. Their skill in battle is undeniable, but can you trust them? Did we get ambushed by a bigger streamer's chat? I mean, it's possible. Like, it's always possible that someone's just like, okay, guys, I'm gonna leave you guys. We've been enjoying playing this game. Let's look at just like the newer chats and people like that. See if there's anyone interesting you guys can join. This guy looks like he's put some work into his thumbnail. Right? If that's the case, then we just have to wait, potentially. Like, the thing is, you can only talk in the chat if you are subscribed for a minute. I did that in order to prevent like bots and trolls from just like joining in and just being like, join this link, join this link, join this link, join this link. It's just like a safer option. And plus you only have to be subscribed for a minute. So it's pretty safe and pretty quick. But yeah, it's possible. All right, tell me about the veterans of the march. These soldiers have fought more battles than they've had hot dinners. They'll be uncouth, no doubt, and won't adapt well to life in the palace, but they're loyal and tough as nails. They do have the highest military. What foreign mercenaries do you suggest? There is a band of fearsome fighters from the Tatterlands called the Battle-Bitten Brethren. They specialize in bodyguard work, but they're costly, and hiring foreigners will be considered an insult to all the regions. Yeah, I hope it's a bunch of real people. I hope y'all are real. I have no clue. Okay, I think we're gonna go ahead and say the veterans of the march. I think this is the best option for us, because the march has the highest military. They're one of the people that I definitely don't want rebelling against me, so if I can lower their defiance by recruiting them, I think that would be best. It is true. If we have a lot of people in the chat, it does sometimes make it a little more difficult for me to read through the messages and respond to everyone, but I think we would end up being fine. Okay, the veterans arrive a few weeks later. They march into the throne room in perfect formation before lining up behind your throne, hands on their sword hilts. Each soldier sports a bigger scar than the last. All right, we have some menacing bodyguards now. Let's go ahead and end the season. Now, you guys will go ahead and get to use your money over here to be able to attempt to build buildings that you think might help out your cause, right? Oh no, there is something here to help you out. Oh, Wilp has joined in a second time as green. All right, I see. Okay, I'm not gonna be mad. So here we go. Oh, immediately thunk, it went down to 10 viewers. It was probably either a bunch of bots or a bunch of people that decided, I don't like being called potentially not real. That's kind of funny. Okay, so here we go. We are gonna go ahead and pick from here. Oh yes, here's basically what's happening. You guys get to have now an auction to determine what it is that you think will end up helping stat-wise with your objective. And you will go ahead and start investing money into it. Because the thing is, only 2 buildings can be built. So you'll see up here, nobles use their personal wealth to bid on buildings, and only the 2 highest funded will be built. Use the pledge button in your browser to bid on the building that you want. So, in this particular objective, you'll see that the goal will be if, for example, someone puts points towards the observatory, it would lower Red's faith. Red's faith would go down. Their faith would now be 5 instead of 6, right? You had to live. Now I'm green. All right. I'm fine with that. Red's faith would go down, which right now no one really benefits from. So probably no one's going to bid on that particular building. If people bid on the Thieves Guild being built, then the trade of Red would go down. Red's trade would go down from 6 to 5, right? If Purple was built, their farming would go up. Their farming is currently 7. It would go up to 8. If D was built, the stability of the realm would go down 1 to 4. If E was built, farming in Green's land, not Greenland, Green's land would go down by 1. Or if you built the stadium, their military power would go down by 1, right? So, I'm going to press start auction. Only 2 of the buildings are going to be built. Technically, it doesn't matter how much money you throw at it. All that matters is it has to be more money than the ones that are potentially your competition. So I'm going to go ahead and press start auction here. Green doesn't want their military lowered, does it? Wow, immediately 2,200 funds went towards, let's lower the stability. Bob the Frog just full in on, yep. We don't want stability. That's impressive. I haven't seen it pop that much in money quite some time. Well done, I suppose. Okay, there's still like 13 seconds left. I suppose I'll leave victim in just in case a Wilp ends up like disconnecting one of their devices by accident. Okay, here we go. The time is up. The building has been funded. Here are the 2 buildings that were funded. You actually accidentally dumped your entire account. Uh-oh. Oops. Okay, so, you can see that they donated $1,300 to this. Wow. Okay, so, yep, all right, here we go then. Let's first do this Pirate Queen quest. This is interesting. Your August Majesty, our pirates are more aggressive than ever. They follow a pirate queen who calls herself the Bloody Gull. She has established a stronghold on a tiny speck of land called Spiderheart Isle. According to our spies, she is growing every day in power and wealth. What are we to do? Only half of our trade vessels reach their destinations. Okay, so we can go ahead and do one of these options. You could say send the Navy to assault her stronghold. That's only a 10% chance of working. That probably won't work. C, we could put a bounty on Bloody Gull's head, which has a 60% chance of working. I think that's based off of their trade. I honestly think that might be the coolest option, putting a bounty on Bloody Gull's head. Or D, we just send a diplomat to broker peace with the pirate queen. Most likely, D won't work, right? Can we just be honest? If we send a diplomat to the pirate queen, it's probably not going to end up with like a happy result for us. So I think it would be the most fun to put a bounty on their head. So I'm going to start the vote there. I'm not going to block anything from being voted on. I just think that that's probably the most interesting story-wise, is putting a bounty on Bloody Gull's head. Ha 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 ha, just wants to watch the world burn and have us fail a military check. I think the 60% chance is our best bet towards stability in the realm. Not stability, but you know what I mean. Voting has closed. 2 nobles voted for this. We're putting a bounty. We succeeded on the challenge. Okay, you post an impressive bounty on the Bloody Gull's head. And wait. And wait. I like anything with taking someone out. Got it. Yes, okay, so that's what you're saying. You voted for the option that let us put a bounty on someone's head and take them out. I see what you're saying. A month later, someone arrives in the palace. A broken-nosed fellow in a stained coat. He's carrying a bloody burlap sack, which he thumps onto your table. I solved your pirate problem. Weren't easy. Now give me the money. How'd you do it? They call me Topcoat. I was pirate captain, and a friend to the Bloody Gull once. That was before she started demanding I call her your highness, telling me to bow and scrape and such. But there's no queen of the sea, so when I saw your bounty, I thought I'd correct her of her delusions and make a pretty penny doing it. I can either check inside the sack, or I can just give him the money, send him on his way, which would make me bankrupt, or I can refuse to grant him the reward. I'll go ahead and check inside the sack first. Yep, it's a woman's head. You're not sure what you expected. We'll ask our spy master to confirm the identity. Reports from the Spiderheart Isle are garbled, but it certainly seems that the pirate queen has been killed. I think our grubby friend is telling the truth. So there we go. Here's the thing. Do I want to give him money and make myself go bankrupt? Or refuse to grant him the reward? Why, I'll nail your gizzard to the mast, ye loathy, scurvy codpiece. I'll tell the whole world of this. The king's word ain't worth... Once the frightful fellow has been escorted away by your guards, you reflect on a job well done. The goal is dead and at no cost to the treasury. In the wake of the Bloody Gull's death, the pirate attacks along the coast die down. The Ghost Sea is still full of danger, but the trade routes are safe once more. Alrighty. Let's go to... Hey, we can still go to the Melancholy Lake. Look, see, there is something here. Wilp didn't die in vain. That lake we discovered is, beyond all doubt, the final resting place of Queen Sashara the Melancholy. I know it's melancholy. She drowned herself after your ancestor, King Arald the Great, killed her sons. This is a very important cultural discovery, you understand. Pilgrims have already turned up from all across the east. A number of poems have been composed. I thought you might want to get involved. Perhaps spare some of your treasury to fund some cultural events. Is that so? No. I'm vetoing this option. I'm not holding a festival and a poetry competition. I'm letting you guys pick. Are we going to excavate the lake bed and search for Queen Sashara's remains, which has a 60% chance of working? Pretty good. Or are you going to leave the lake alone? You guys get to pick. You don't get to pick to hold a festival and a poetry competition. No festival, no poetry. Pick something else. Purple is like, listen, I know that we're saying that we should do a lot of stuff, but maybe we shouldn't look for a dead person's grave. Listen, we're all about, like, creepy demonic cult stuff and things like that and bringing people back from the dead, but looking for a lady's grave on the bottom of a lake bed just sounds like a little too much right now. Tell you what, I think it'll be fun. We're gonna go ahead and excavate the lake bed. We have a 60% chance of it working. It succeeded. Here we go. The excavations begin immediately, against the church's wishes. Sure enough, an ancient... Oh, that's what it was. It was based off of, like, how low their faith was. Got it. Sure enough, an ancient skeleton is dredged from the lake bed within a few weeks, though you're not sure how anyone knows it's her. This is fantastic. A true piece of Eastern history. This belongs in a museum. But instead of a museum, it ends up at Count Birdcatcher That Dude's Keep, where he charges a modest fee for the common folk to come and gawp. Your trade went up, so I'm happy for that. Alright, let's find myself a spouse. In the twisty passages of your castle, you can avoid your advisors, the nobles, and even the spy master. But there's one person you can't avoid. Your mother. Why haven't you found a spouse yet? It's been almost a year. Is it really that urgent? Of course! But don't worry, I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What's your preference, men, women, or do you not mind? Women, please? Excellent! I'll send out messengers to the most influential noble families in the kingdom. Let's see what they have to offer. Alright, end of the season. Now, green here needed to have the lowest defiance. They did not achieve that, due to the fact that the pirates attacking them ended up erasing their defiance by a large bit. Anchored a few miles from the sunny coast, noble patrician Victim has invited their close confidants aboard their yacht. What an utter disaster of a year. Not only are we clashing with the king on a daily basis, our relationship is the worst in the entire kingdom. The spy master will never trust us at this rate. Ugh, how goes the search for the look-alike? Althea says, not well. The best I found is a peasant with the wrong-shaped nose, the wrong-colored eyes, and a wooden leg. Don't let that discourage you. Keep searching. Our doppelganger is out there. I'm sure of it. The patrician's aim is to be the region with the lowest defiance. Sorry you disappeared for dinner. Don't even worry about it. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go ahead and tax some group. The patricians have a lot more money than everyone else. So let's go ahead and pick the patricians. There we go. Thank you. Alrighty. Let's do Rogue Golem. Baron Awilp II says, Rogue Golem has crossed into our territory over the Ashmeaden border, Your Highness. This could be an exciting opportunity. What's a golem?
A machine in the shape of a man, usually sculpted from clay or stone. The Ashmerians used them for drudge work and warfare.
Oh, why did it cross over here?
It was instructed to dig a trench, but evidently not told when to stop. It had dug a 16-mile furrow through the landscape and over the border by the time we stopped it. Please, my liege, this is our chance to figure out how this golem magic works. We could even turn it against Ashmead.
Your Majesty, the barons would drown their own grandmothers to gain an advantage over the Ashmead, or over the counts and patricians. Golems are an offense to the ninth god, and they're dangerous. We should destroy it before it gets out of control.
All right, folks, we get to decide here. So, we could A, use it as a source of labor, which has a 50% chance of working. We could B, add it to the Marcher army, which has a 60% chance of working. We could C, take it apart and figure out its secrets, which has a 70% chance of working due to our level of trade. I think that's really good. The other option is destroy it, which would raise the defiance of the red people. Green, I'll be honest, you're probably voting for this, and here's why. If you destroy it, red's defiance goes up. You need that. Red's faith goes up. That's kind of a meh point. The stability of the realm goes up, which these other guys don't want. So I'm going to say my monarch's choice, my recommendation is let's destroy the golem before anyone has a chance to potentially break it down. Sorry, before anyone has a chance to understand its secrets. Oh, well. I'll go ahead. I'll have green here vote to destroy it. There's at least one person voting to destroy it. 10 seconds remain. Right now, it looks like we're going to take it apart and figure out its secrets, which if we're not going to pick destroy it, that is the best option to go for. So it makes sense. All right, here we go. Taking it apart and figuring out its secrets. The secrets of the golems have been a mystery for too long. Oh, the secrets of the golems have been a mystery for too long. I'll put our very best artisans to work figuring it out. As they disassemble... Oh, no. As they disassemble it, however, some kind of Ashmedian safety measure gets tripped. The golem goes wild, killing dozens of artisans. That was only a 30% chance of happening. Ugh. Then it goes on a rampage, pulling up farmland and massacring peasants across the march, lowering the stability of the realm even more. After many casualties, Marcher troops are finally able to put it down. In the aftermath, you're left with nothing but clay shards and regret. I hope you are happy for yourself, Red. Okay, the Wandering Bard. Your Majesty, a traveling bard. She says she has come to compose a song for you. Not just any bard, Your Highness, the best in all the land. Sally Six Fingers, they call me. Song, you say, about me? Why, of course. In fact, I have the tune and verse all but ready. I have saved my best work for you, my king. All I require is a subject. What should I tell the masses of you? What would you like to inspire? Let's say teach them to love me. I will do so, Your Highness. Absolutely. Give me but a few weeks and everyone within the Crown Lands will know of your benevolence. Pray, I need only but a small payment of 500 gold for the time. A discounted rate for one such esteemed as yourself. I will say you deserve more than that. What about 1,000? Oh, thank you, Your Majesty. She hurries out of the throne room to do your bidding. Dang it, I lost 1,000. I was really hoping that I would go up 2 points in stability if I paid her extra money. Yeah, unfortunately, Sally is a better salesperson than songwriter. She composes a song, yes, but it fails to capture the hearts of your people. You have her perform it for you, but it's abysmal. Nothing rhymes, there's no rhythm, she doesn't even pronounce your name correctly. Off with Sally Six Fingers' head. Oh well. I have found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young women from each of the kingdom's regions. Choose wisely. You'll be securing a powerful alliance. Yes, I know. Your mother leads you to the Great Hall where she's arranged 3 portraits on easels. For now, each is covered by a cloth. There's no time for sentiment. You just need to find a match that befits your station and suits your political needs. She whisks away the cloth from the first portrait.
This is Natashka, the eldest daughter of the Eastern dynasty. Apparently, they had a hell of a time getting her to smile for this portrait. Spends most of her time with a fencing master, mastering the blade. She's obsessed with her family's legacy.
All right. So this would be purple, right? The counts.
From the coast, we have Eulalia. 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 Eulalia.
Eulalia. We're going for Eulalia. Ah, gosh. A wealthy heiress to Lady Patrician Wolfie's estate. I mean, just look at her. She's gorgeous, and apparently she's got a silver tongue, too. She recently gave away half a fortune to the church, much to everyone's surprise, and she's recently been campaigning to improve living conditions to the coastal slums. Wow. That person is fantastic. The only thing difficult about them is their name. And finally, we have the March's offering, Evemy, scion of the prestigious Jerbobel the Grandee House bloodline. A typical baroness, really, loud and brash and self-absorbed, but mostly well-meaning. Like most of the barons, her great passion is hunting. No beast is safe from her crossbow. Also got into a fight with her local bishop a couple years back. Gave him a bloody nose. Hey, Wolf Ninja. Hello, hello. What do you think? Of course, by picking a candidate, you'll anger the other regions, but you'll gain a lifelong alliance. Show me Yulia, the coastal candidate, again. Yeah. We'll go for them. I have made my decision. We're going for Yulia of the coast. Hey, look at that. At the end of the season, green will progress, just like everyone else. That's pretty good. I believe Wolfie ended up joining green over here. You can see that. Yep. You don't really have a choice. When you join, that is the group that you join in on, so. All right, end of the season. Everyone is going to have their methods progress here. While the king settles into his young reign, a general has risen in the march. The indomitable Baron Rudolph. General, fantastic news. We're ready to move forwards with the plan. The king is in such a state that commoners are begging for someone to save them. All we need is a suitable bogeyman to get them really riled up. The Ashmedian Empire will do, I should think. After all, they've always coveted our lands, especially in the march. And how would our dear king stop them with the kingdom in such a state? Good thinking, General. While your campaign warns of the Ashmedian threat and proposes a march of defense, we will build an army to back your word. For the next stage of the Baron's scheme, the stat goal is to have the highest military in 3 seasons. Okay. Unfortunately, red is currently succeeding at that, because they are tied for the highest. Purple, you are going to want to get your military up. Both purple and green, you will want to lower the military of red. Otherwise, they might just hop ahead of you. Okay, Victim says, you had a surprise for me. Indeed, and here it is, behold. Your Majesty, what are you doing here at such an hour? I'm sorry, I hope you didn't overhear any... Oh, quit babbling, you blowhard. This isn't the king. It's a peasant who's the king's spitting image. By the 9th, and just in time, the spymaster trusts us, and we can move to the next phase, kidnapping the king and putting this fool in his place. You need a follow-up of what you should do for the green team. I'll make sure to tell you right after we finish this. I can double check. I'm pretty sure he spelled it just like that. Let me double check. I'm not going to be able to double check right now, it looks like, unfortunately. So sorry. You can make sure, yeah, just send me an email and I'll be able to send you if it's different. If you hear back from me, it's different, unfortunately, okay? But what I was sent, I approved that. So it's too late to change it either way. But yeah. Okay. How do we manage that? We need the kingdom in utter chaos, bad enough that the king's abduction can slip past unnoticed. You have to lower the stability to 4 or less in 4 seasons. Cool. Okay, so green, Wolfie, here's what you got to do, Wolf Ninja. You need to keep the stability low. That's what you need to do. You also need to try to lower red's military. So those are your 2 objectives right now. Lower the stability of the realm, or keep it where it is, honestly. And lower the military of red. Far in the east, Count Birdcatcher that dude is hosting a dinner party in his castle with a few distinguished guests. The kingdom's in great jeopardy, and the council is calling for the king's inner circle to resign. We need to increase the pressure. If the king's in a weak enough position, he's got no choice but to bow to our demands. No interfering spymaster, no more marshal or chancellor to treasurer.
a whole new inner circle, all made up of counts. For the next stage of their scheme, the counts must lower the authority to 4 or less in 3 seasons. Which means, here's basically what everyone is going to try to do. Red, you are going to try to raise your own military and to raise up authority and stability. That way you can block purple and green from meeting their objectives. Purple, you are trying to lower red's military or raise your own and raise stability while also lowering or keeping constant the authority. Green, your objective is keep the stability low. Whether you drop it more, keep it low, doesn't matter. You also need to try to either raise purple's military or lower red's military, and you should also be trying to raise purple's authority, or rather raise the authority of the realm to stop purple from winning. Okay? There you go. That's what everyone needs to do. I need to pick a law. Pick this one. Okay. Ooh, boy. Let's do the other ones first. A petitioner from afar. Your Majesty, there's a petitioner here to see you today. We're not exactly sure where she's from. What does she want? You'll see soon enough, Your Majesty. Greetings, Your Majesty. My name is Oraid. I have a proposition for you. Oraid, where are you from? Distant shores, Your Majesty. I prefer to keep my exact origins a secret. Who are you exactly? I am but a humble ship's captain, once of great renown, but that was a different time. So not a pirate then? No, Your Majesty, never would I countenance the thought. Tell me more about the proposition. 3 ships are docked in a harbor to the west. Their holds are packed to the gills with muskets and gunpowder, and they each boast a full battery of cannons. They're all yours, in return for a small favor. And what would I do with muskets? Outfit your armies with them, Your Majesty. They are powerful weapons, enough to give you an edge over your enemies. What's the favor? I only wish to stay in this kingdom with your blessing and protection. I can show your soldiers how to use the weapons, of course, to avoid any accidents. Alright, what did you do? I don't know what you mean, Your Majesty. I simply wish to keep my dealings private. You will forgive me, I hope. Alright, you all get to vote here. I'm going to go ahead and veto confiscating weapons and taking Oraid prisoner. I do not want the stability to lower even more than it already is. So I'm going to leave it to you guys. You can pick. Are you going to either provide safe harbor to Oraid in exchange for muskets, which will increase the military of green? Or will you reject them and send her away? It is your choice. Red, of course, is saying, I want the military to be higher. Purple is saying, I want my military to be higher. Makes sense for both of you. Honestly, really everyone should probably be voting for A. But I could see why Wolfie might vote for green. If they're concerned about Red's military getting a little too big there. All right, here we go. The voting has closed. Oraid and her weapons prove most useful in the coming months. She and her crew train your officers as promised. Oraid demonstrates by puncturing a metal breastplate at 500 yards. The council clearly made the right decision. Okay, the royal wedding. Your wedding to Yulia is naturally not Eulalia. That's it, not Yulia. Eulalia. I keep on thinking like a eulogy, so I say Yulia or Julia. Yulia. It's Eulalia. Your wedding to Eulalia is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. It feels like you're the only one not taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Eulalia at your side. Do you take this woman as your lawfully wedded wife? I do. Then I pronounce you king and wife. All right. We've risen the stability and authority a little bit. Purple will now not be able to complete their objective in 2 seasons' time from now. Green, we still need to raise it up to 5 in order to stop them. After the wedding, of course, there's a feast, and after the feast, a dance. Your new wife, Eulalia, laps up the attention, delivering a witty speech in which she flatters you outrageously. Oh my goodness, I love this. By the time you find yourself alone with Eulalia, it's past midnight. You've never felt more tired. You danced so very beautifully. It was such a wonderful day, wasn't it?
I agree with her, absolutely. You endure a long conversation in which Eulalia seems determined to flatter you relentlessly and agree with everything you say. By night's end, you still don't know who Eulalia really is. Her real personality is concealed beneath 100 layers of etiquette. You go to your separate bedchambers, still strangers. Oh no. Kevin is saying, seriously, none of the messages are going through. Yeah, it's going through now, but everything you've been sending up to this point has not gone through. Sorry about that. Bankruptcy looms. The treasury is almost empty, Your Highness. What do you suggest we do? Apart from raising taxes, we have precious few options. Could get a bank loan, or sell off the crown jewels, or maybe crack open in some of your predecessors' tombs. Most were buried with powers of gold, or so I've heard. Right. So we could do the treasury here, just make 10,000 gold, which would end up being a problem later on. We could take out a loan, which would lower our authority, which I don't want to do. I could lower my authority and sell off some stuff, lower the stability. Ugh. You know what? Surely there will be no negative consequences to getting 10,000 gold. The Royal Mint begins churning out new coins, allowing you to pay off several old debts. There we go. 10,000 money. Oh boy. Surely nothing will go wrong. All right, everyone. Hey, just be glad that I didn't make it a situation where some of y'all need my treasury to be low in order to win. Treasury raised by 10,000 gold. I will tell you why this is. There is going to be there's going to be an event later on, either in this game or in like a future campaign, where the treasury gets sacked because of the fact that it's like, well, you were printing off a bunch of cheap coins, so the value of the coin has gone down by a fair bit. Okay, a need for horses.
Your Majesty, I've been thinking, marcher soldiers are without peer, but our armies could always be stronger. What we really need are better horses, but the best don't come cheap. The Ashmedians have a surplus of destriers at the moment, horses bred for war. Perhaps the crown could go halves with the barons to acquire some, for the good of the kingdom, of course.
If we purchase the horses from Ashmead, I will warn you, Red's military is going to raise up even higher. Okay? So, actually, I'm going to go ahead... you know what? No, I'm going to do Royal Gamble. And here's why. I am going to recommend that you guys instead vote for this. Discourage the Barons' reliance on war horses. We do not want their military might to increase. Okay? So, these other twos have options to potentially make it increase. We do not want that. Is that clear? We do not want them to potentially even have a chance at getting more military might. Okay? So here we go. I'm starting off the vote. Of course, Red is immediately voting to purchase the houses from Ashmead. Wolfie 2 is attempting to encourage the barons to end up getting their own horses. Okay, I do really recommend discourage the barons' reliance on war horses. That's probably a much smarter option. All right, there is the chance, I suppose, that if it fails, that it goes down. I guess that might be why you're voting for this. Voting is closed. Okay, the farming challenge failed. Marcher farmers try their best to learn better horse husbandry, but gave up pretty quickly.
What's the point of all this? It's going to take years for us to see better results, and the Ashmedians have what we need right now. We need to try something else.
That's all that happened. Yep. Where were your teammates? I have no clue. You have... Oh, well, one teammate remains, a whelp. I know not what I vote for. I just do what I think is funny. Okay. Costly crossbows. Why are we just having events where Red gets to raise their military potentially? As you're walking beside the palace parade grounds, a crossbow bolt whizzes past your head and shatters against the wall behind you. Baron Wilp II approaches, out of breath and waving frantically. He has a sleek, fancy-looking crossbow nestled in one hand.
Great God, my liege, I nearly took your head off.
Tell me in 5 words or less why I shouldn't have you executed. I didn't
mean to... Finger slipped. That was 6, wasn't it? Oh, sorry, I meant to scare you. I just wanted to show you this crossbow. Oh, sorry to scare you. I just wanted to show you this crossbow. Can shoot 3 bolts a minute and punch through Asmodean armor at 500 yards. Beautiful, isn't she? Trouble is, to achieve such accuracy and power, she needs to be crafted from springwood. It only grows in the forests of the east, and the eastern people charge exorbitantly for it. That's the free market, I suppose. Pff, if this is what the free market looks like, let's put it in chains. That's what I say. The barons of the march are guarding your borders, your majesty, and yet we can't afford to buy the weapons we need. If you want to keep your kingdom safe, the counts must stop price gouging. Your highness, this is outrageous. These barons just want a bargain. All right. These 2 options raise Red's military. We do not want that. Purple and green, you should be voting for C. To refuse to limit the free market, which will end up lowering the military might of Red. This is your only chance to get Red defeated here. Okay? Otherwise, they are going to do quite well for themselves. So, I'm going to make my monarch's choice be this. You can look at these other options, but all of them increase the military might of Red. So if you refuse to limit the free market and let the free market reign, it will lower Red's military. Go thou forth! Yeah, free market. Now, I will say this. It also does, as a rather helpful thing to me, it does increase trade in the realm. So I won't lie. That's pretty good for me too. Right? But you all voted for it, not me. There we go. Trees. Okay. Next time an Ashmedian horde comes screaming over the border, I'll lay out a welcome mat. Over the next few months, the counts continue to ratchet up the springwood prices. Only the wealthiest barons can afford the finest crossbows, and the marcher armies are forced to make do with subpar equipment. All right. A private exchange. The Kurth captain that you allowed to stay in the capital, the one who traded those weapons, she has been the cause of some concern. Nobles have complained that she has been rude and confrontational. She does not know royal etiquette, after all. Worse, some suspect her of being a Kurth spy. Very well, I'll have a word. You find Oreid pacing the halls far from her assigned chambers. What are you doing out of your rooms? Thinking. Is that a crime? Doesn't matter, I just have a lot to ponder. I'm the king. Surely I can do something. She studies you for a moment, then shakes her head. I appreciate the offer, your majesty, but I must deal with this myself. Please excuse me. She walks away without another word, leaving you to ponder her secrets. Okay, end of the season. I'm glad you're finding this fun. So, Red is probably going to be voting to raise their military. They don't care about their faith. Everyone should probably be voting for this, for the authority to get risen up. Or stability to get risen up. There is no way to do this. Purple is going to be voting for this to lower the authority. So you guys should probably vote for this to raise authority. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and start the auction here. I can go ahead and like coach you guys all day over like the best options, but in the end it just comes down to however much you guys intend to spend on these things. Okay. Spookcat said, dang, I had so little. Yeah, the money went a little bit down. Alrighty. I think that's, yeah, basically it for this area. I don't think that things are really going to change. The time is up. Okay. The buildings were funded. Authority was risen and lowered at the same time. Ooh, about my heir.
Your marriage to Eulalia is not what you'd hoped. She seldom sleeps in your bed, and over breakfast you exchange only a few frosty words before she departs to the chapel. I didn't even have a chance to hang out with her. The last thing on your mind is procuring an heir, but the needs of the kingdom must prevail. Okay. I'm very happy, thank you. Okay, we've done well, but we need an heir. My wife and I will have a child together. Okay. The bounty hunters? Yes, let's do this. Your Majesty, these good folk are bounty hunters, representing the Republic of Kurth, they say. MrM, we greet you humbly. Tell me more about Kurth. It's lovely this time of year. You should visit. Lots of rain, but we make do. As for more important matters, we are searching for someone, a fugitive, you might say. Last we heard, she went by the name Oraid. What kind of fugitive is she? The ships under her command are property of the Republic of Kurth, as is their cargo. I'm afraid she's under my protection, as we feared. Still, perhaps we can work out a deal. The Grand Pensionary of Kurth is offering a large bounty for the return of this woman, and we are sure that an esteemed king such as yourself would not risk drawing Kurth's ire. As proof of our goodwill, we'll even allow you to keep the firearms that were stolen. Interesting. Honestly, I kind of like all these options. I mean, getting more to the treasury doesn't really matter. So, you guys probably don't want to vote for that, because I just get more money if you do that. And that would be hand over or raid to them. We could refuse the bounty hunter's offer, or we could discreetly pay the hunters to take someone else. Honestly, I kind of like discreetly paying the hunters to take someone else. Yeah. Hey, Robin. Hello, hello. Okay. Seems like almost everyone here is voting to pay the hunters to take someone else. Here, I'll have victim also vote this way. There we go. Okay. So, anyone that wants to join, by the way, you can join in midway through the game just by typing in this website and putting in that room code. Still very, very welcome for other people to join. Well, what's the game you want to play? Well, please do. This game is called King of the Castle. It's basically like Jackbox. Yeah, it's basically like Jackbox party games. So it's like, you don't need to own the game at all. You just need to say, you just need to go to this website, type in a name, type in the code, and you'll be able to join in. It's pretty fun. Okay. All right, the voting has closed. We're discreetly paying them to take someone else. The bounty hunters do not take long to consider your offer. They return to Kurth with the head of a nameless prisoner. You hope officials back in the Republic will be none the wiser. Oraid decides to stay in the kingdom, offering her advisory services to your navy as payment for sparing her. Nice. That went well. Horse armor. I know just what we need, Your Majesty. So we can't get Asmedian war horses. That's fine. They're old news anyway. It doesn't matter what breed we have, just how they're equipped. Horse armor, I promise, is only a little bit expensive. Who came up with this idea? Berenger Bobble the Grandee, Your Majesty. But if you don't like it, there are alternatives. Well, Marty suggested we give our cavaliers fake wings to scare the enemy. Our particularly gullible enemy, one must imagine. Perhaps the council has other ideas. I really like the idea of just giving our horses wings. Okay, so here are the options, right? If you vote for A, you are equipping the Marcher Cavalry with horse armor, which increases Red's military. You don't want that. In fact, I'm going to go so far as to veto it. Okay? Actually, no, there's no need to veto it. I don't think enough people are going to vote for it. Yeah, you couldn't pick a team. That's rough, sorry. Okay. If you are not red, don't vote for A, because that will raise Red's military. I'm not going to veto it. I'm going to let there be a fighting chance for it to happen. I think the funniest option is B. Create the Marcher Hussars and give them eagle wings. It's only 50% chance of working, but it would be really funny if it did. C is just try to improve the cavalry's training, or D is try taming deer to ride instead. Both of those are really funny. Taming deer. I think it's funny giving horses wings. Don't worry, you say there's like 3 of them, but one of them is my victim. So we're just, that victim just won't vote for anything. So you don't have to worry about them having an unfair edge. Yep, don't worry. Man, no one else liked the idea of let's give the horses wings? Alright, that's fine. Alright, they're gonna try to improve the cavalry's training. They succeeded! Surely they just need a swift kick in the rear to get motivated. You and your marshal tour the march for a number of weeks, inspecting troops and their horses. Their military is now tied with everyone. After a while, your rear-bound kicks and scathing critiques of the horse's dental hygiene do the trick. The barons are amazed at the newfound discipline instilled in their troops. Yes, I am a teacher. Yes, Mr. Multimedia. I teach a multimedia class at a middle school. All right, well, okay, be seeing you that, dude. Bye. Okay. Across the kingdom, commoners and nobles alike are now turning to General Rudolph, who promises to rescue them from the king's weak rule. There are daily parades in the general's honor. A cult of personality begins to form. In the grand hall of Baron Alwulp II's castle, a number of figures are hunched around the hearth, plotting away. Soon the people will beg us to depose their pathetic king. The general's in place. It's time for the final blow. What next? So, Red, you get to vote. How are you going to potentially win the game here? Are you going to try to raise everyone else's defiance, which I don't recommend? Or are you going to try to lower the authority, which I don't like? So are you going to provoke a civil war and take over the palace for the king's safety? Or are you going to enact a swift and brutal palace coup? Up to you. Red has not voted. Oh, there we go. Trebubble the Grandee. All right. So, Red, your goal. A civil war, how delectable. Of course, we must make sure the other nobles are suitably enraged. We can't be seen to have started the whole thing. A simple task. The other regions are eager for another excuse to hate the king. We just need to give them a push. You're in your last year of high school? Nice. Fun. Basically right at the end. Just about to go to college. Well, or, you know, go off to a trade school or just start working right away. I just naturally assume, like, oh, last year of high school, college, huh? And I keep on constantly having to remind myself, oh, no, that there are very, very many other options you can consider there. Okay. That's when the general will swoop in to save the kingdom from itself. Ingenious, if I do say so. For the final stage of the scheme, the barons must rage other regions' defiance to a combined total of at least 10, or ensure another region begins a rebellion. So there you go. You're trying to get their defiance up to a total of 10. Right now, they're at 2. In the darkest depths of an eastern forest, Count Birdcatcher that dude has gathered his fellow plotters around a mossy stone obelisk. The council demands a shakeup, but the king resists all calls to replace his advisors. There's little we can do while the king holds out, but something tells me his position is not as strong as he thinks. Your goal to lower the authority. Okay. Red has the most money, so thank you. Yeah, so, well, we have a couple of people here. Looking at things real quick, I mean, one of them is me, so let's just close out that guy. Victim is leaving. Some of these people here are younger. Some of these people are my age, and they joined in for fun. Some of them I don't know how old they are, so yeah. Wait, you have monies? Yes, you do indeed. If you see here, you have 250. It was that, a whelp. Look, a whelp has far more than everyone else. All right, so we have a couple of things here. Oh no, hyperinflation. As you ordered, Your Majesty, the Royal Mint has churned out thousands of new coins using cheap gold-like metals. The treasury is technically replenished, but it's also devaluing the currency across the kingdom. Something must be done. Oh no, trade went way down. That's what I need to win. Okay. Alrighty then. Ooh, boy. Okay. My recommendation, folks, is that we pick this. It lowers the trade even more. But I stay alive. Ah, no, wait, we can't do that. Okay, never mind. My suggestion is instead that we pick this. Listen, purple, you want to do this. Oh, Robin realizes that they've been subscribed for a couple of months too. Thank you. Happy to have you here. Oh boy. Happy early birthday to the two people that were talking in chat about how old they're becoming soon. Nice. It's typically when you see shorts, you just click that and sub if you like the video. Nice. Okay, so I am going to recommend that we adopt a foreign currency instead. Here is why. Okay, purple, you want this to happen. You want authority to be down. So purple, you should vote with me on this, right? Green, this also lowers stability. This is perfect for you. You want this. Okay, purple and green should all be voting with me to have C happen here. Okay, so we're gonna start the vote. Purple and green, you want this to happen. It lowers the authority. It's the only one that lowers the authority. Other ones also lower stability, so green, technically you're fine with any of these, but you probably want this because it will probably lower it, like, it will probably more likely pass as a lowering thing because purple also is going for it. All right. Okay, voting has closed. We slowly adopt the currency of the Ashmedian Empire, resulting in a kingdom-wide shame and loss of pride. Ashmedian gold is chunky and hexagonal, adorned with the sneering face of Emperor Shamarath II. It's a good thing most of your citizens can't read Ashmedian because you're pretty sure each coin is inscribed with records of past military victories over your own kingdom. Oh my goodness, look at how defiant everyone is now. Red, you picked the best option. Everyone hates me now. Your Majesty, I must have vouched anyone, but it's beyond ridiculous that for one day of every week, all the shops shut and no work gets done. I know, it's the ninth god's holy day, the day he rested after slaughtering the other gods like cattle, but must it interrupt trade? I'm leaving profit on the table. And need I remind you that the East is the economic powerhouse keeping the kingdom afloat? We should receive special dispensation. A reasonable enough request. Not me personally, just my employees. This is sacrilege, by the way. How long have you been standing there? The ninth ensures I appear when I'm most needed. I assure you, High Inquisitor, I have nothing but the utmost devotion to the ninth, but I need to think about my profits. So. Oh, boy. Bonjour, Namino. We're playing a game. You can actually join in on this, too, if you want. It's kind of like Jackbox, where anyone can join in, really, at any point. So if you type in this link down here, kotc.app, and you put in your name and your room code and stuff like that, you'll be able to join in one of our teams here of the Barons, the Counts, or the Patricians. It sorts you randomly. And your goal would be to try to dethrone me. Currently, that's a pretty likely chance of happening. Okay, Ooh. I think everyone would do much better with this. Look, everyone gets 750 gold. I get a little bit more money in the treasury. Trade goes back up again. This is great for us. We want this. Right. Purple, why are you trying to raise defiance? That makes red win. Oh boy. Yeah, see, why are you all trying to do you want the game to just be over? I think you all have decided red shall win. We are not red, but red shall win. This is funny because the thing you have voted for is making it so red is going to win. I don't know. I'm just pressing what they press. I don't know how this works. Right. I think potentially, red wins here. Never mind, it's at 9. Once they hit 10, they win. So you see 5 and 4, right? They have 9 total. Once they have 10, red wins the game. By the blood of the dead. Fine, I'll just go back to propping up this kingdom's economy, shall I? Robin ended up joining the green team. On the way back to his castle, Birdcatcher that dude is mobbed by religious zealots, held in makeshift stocks for a week and pelted with dung and rotting meat. The common folk find it hilarious, and church donations triple overnight. Any rumors that the High Inquisitor was involved are totally unfounded. Yeah, it wasn't joined, it was forced. Yeah. A bizarre report. Your Majesty, I have received worrying reports. Worrying and confusing. Let me help you out. What's wrong? I received words... Oh, what? I received reports from one of my little birdies in Noble Patrician Victims Villa. They have a most unusual guest. Oh no, is this some sort of parasite thing? No. It's you, Your Majesty, or someone who looks just like you. I have no reason to suspect the patricians of plotting anything, and yet I can't square this away. Unfortunately, I can't devote too many resources to solving this puzzle with the kingdom in such a lamentable state. Too busy fighting fires elsewhere. I recommend you call a meeting of the council and try to do something to put a stop to this. Very well, assemble them at once. Okay. Let me make this clear, since I didn't make it clear before. Okay, Namino, what's the point of this game? The point of this game is, everyone in the audience, when they're joining in sort of this Jackbox party way, right? Everyone in the audience is trying to have their faction, whether that be the Red Barons, the Purple Counts, or the Green Patricians. You're trying to have your own group gain enough stats and gain enough power in your own regions in order to dethrone me, the king. So I'm streaming this, I'm the king, and I'm trying to just kind of pit you all against each other so that I end up winning. I'm trying to have an heir, I'm trying to win, everything will go much, much better if I can actually pit you guys against each other. You are trying to complete 3 objectives before I manage to complete mine. Unfortunately, red is on their very last objective. Okay. So, people, help me become king. Red, which is Spookcat. Spookcat is on the red team. You can even see if we click noble list, you'll see they pop into here every once in a while. Namino ended up joining purple. They were just sorted to there automatically. So here's the thing. Let me very quickly detail what's going to happen with all these votes, right? If you vote A, that we are tripling security around the palace, it raises stability, it lowers authority, and it lowers my treasury down to 0, and I probably go bankrupt, okay? And the game is over. All right? If you vote B, you say that you want to conduct a thorough search of the coastal villas, here's the thing. If you do that, red will win, because it will raise the defiance of green, which means that they will have over 10. So red is going to be voting for B. Don't do that unless you want red to win. Aren't you? It says Nemi. Yeah, you tried, but you don't see that screen. Well, right now it probably has you on a pause screen because it's not letting you vote until I press start vote. Okay? All right. So, red is wanting to vote B. You guys do not want to vote B. You also don't want to vote A because then the treasury goes down and I think it'll just make red win automatically because of the fact that that they're the closest to winning right now. So I think it just takes the person who's the furthest along and is like, okay, you win. So here's the vote. You should vote C. Do nothing. Vote for doing nothing. Otherwise, red wins. Yep. Just says Steam and lots of other games. Oh, interesting. Huh. I haven't seen that before. Has it opened up a vote now for you? Still nothing. Ah. Yeah, www.kotc.app. It's probably that you should... if you pressed sign in as Steam, then you didn't want that. You probably wanted to just sign in as a guest. Well, I just assumed this was you because it says Nemi. Interesting. All right. The council chooses not to intervene based on what such scanty evidence. Whatever the patricians are planning with your body double, it will go ahead without interference. Oh boy. Here we go. End of the season. Somewhere along the coast, noble patrician victim strolls in their olive grove accompanied by a close friend. The kingdom's in complete chaos. The peasants are so nervous they're joining the army in droves, so someone will give them a sword. It's perfect. We have to strike. What do you intend us to do? Swoop in and kidnap the king in full view of the honor guard and the palace watch? No, of course not. We need to use the chaos to our advantage. We have two options. Green. Only you get to vote on this, okay? Only green gets to vote, which is Robin and Wolfie. Robin and Wolfie, you guys are the only ones that can vote on this. You get to pick. How do you want to potentially win the game? Do you want your goal to be to raise your own defiance? Don't do that. Red will win before you win. Or do you want to manufacture a food crisis and kidnap the king during the relief efforts by lowering your own farming? That was probably the better option because your farming is already pretty low. Okay. Alrighty. Should I be a peasant to society? Oh boy. If the coast is gripped with famine, we can convince the king to come and visit us. Kiss babies, hand out bread, that sort of thing. That's when we strike. One king rides to the coast and another king rides home. You think you might be in the right thing now? Okay. Your genius knows no bounds, but what about our own citizens? Won't they starve? You know what they say, can't make an omelet without starving a few peasants. So, for the final stage of your scheme, the patricians must lower their farming to 2 or less. So you guys are trying to lower your farming down to 2 or less. And that's when you win. Purple. The council demands that our king's advisors resign, and the king is too weak to resist. Our replacements are waiting in the wings. Once our advisors surround the king, we'll have complete control of what he hears. We'll shape his reality. We'll treat the king like a mushroom, keep him in the dark and feed him. Now, let's not be vulgar. The question is, what will we do with this control? So, you have the goal of either raise stability in the realm to win, or raise others' defiance. I'm gonna shut up here. Okay. Surely it doesn't let me decide, does it? Dang it. Dang it. I think potentially purple wins almost right away. So, here's what happened. Okay? Purple now has a goal of raising others' defiance, just like red had, right? I think their goal is going to be that they want red and green to have a combined defiance of 10 or more. You can see the problem. They're at 10. If they had voted stability, stability is at 2. There's no way they were going to get the stability of the round back up. I think purple might have just won. Knock knock, who's there? Once we've taken over the king's inner circle, we'll convince him to abdicate for the good of the kingdom, of course. Of course, and appoint our claimant in his place, I presume. Indeed. Won't the other regions be furious? Not if they despise the current king. They'll welcome a new monarch with open arms, even if it's an Easterner. Robin says Hawaii, so I should say Hawaii who? I don't know what Hawaii who is supposed to end up sounding like, unless you think it's like yodeling. Oh, how are you? How are you? I'm good. How are you? How are you? Okay. For the final stage of their scheme, the counts must raise other regions' defiance to a combined total of at least 12. So you need to get red's defiance up, or ensure that another group begins a rebellion. Okay. Now, here's the thing. You guys can declare war if you want. The moment you do, red or purple wins. I don't know who. Okay? Well, not if red. If red or purple declare that they want to rebel, that means that they give up on their goal. Like their goal right now of propaganda or subterfuge, where they're trying to get everyone's defiance up, they leave that goal and they say, I want to win by trying to invade everyone else. I want to win by using my military power. Okay? Green, do not rebel. Red or purple will win. Red and purple, don't rebel. The other person will win. Okay? So, no one should do that. Okay, knock knock. Who's there then? Who's there? Okay? If you vote to rebel, we all lose. Or rather, you don't win. Whoever votes to rebel does not win. Simple as that. Your Majesty, I bring bad news from the march. We're receiving reports of... I'm sure your news can wait. I bring urgent tidings from the coast that demand the king's attention at once. Wait your turn, you ignorant dolt. Okay, one at a time. Order in the march is broken down. Some battalions have killed their own officers and begun roving in the wilderness, acting like common bandits. The industries are in grave danger. The workers are striking. They demand fewer hours and higher pay. My news is worse still. The eastern courts are corrupt. Judges are letting off the vilest criminals in return for the slightest bit of coin. They lack the resources to tackle all the problems at once. We have to choose what to prioritize. No. This is the end. Let me explain why this is the end. Okay? Actually, there's only one way that the game goes on. Okay. Here's why this is the end. Okay? If we help red, that means both purple and green will increase their defiance, meaning red wins. So, if A is the end, if A is what is voted for, they win. Okay? Red wins. If we vote for B, the defiance of red and green each go up by 1, which means now there would be a defiance level of 12. Which means if B, purple wins. If C, reform the eastern courts, green's defiance goes down, purple and red's goes up. So I guess red doesn't win there, because it goes down and goes up, so they're still at 9. Purple doesn't win, because its go downs goes up, so it's still at 10. Okay? However, trade goes down, which I'm saddened by. So here's what I'm going to do. I would like the game to continue. So I am going to offer you, if you vote for C, you get 500 personal wealth. Yep, don't vote A, because red will win. Don't vote B, because purple will win. If you vote C, the game continues, if only for a little longer. Yeah, I should have seen this coming. Oh. All it takes is one red person saying, I choose violence, and voting for B instead, and the game is over. Okay. Spook Cat, I will let you decide. You get to decide right now. Does purple win, or does the game keep going? Since you were the only, since your vote ended up not applying because you voted for A, you get to decide B or C. Purple ain't winning. Got it. The corrupt Eastern judges are stubborn. We try to remove them. They retaliate by enforcing all the old forgotten laws that everyone had agreed to ignore. Suddenly, merchants are legally required to wear blindfolds on weekends, and every coin must be passed under the noise of a cat before it's spent. Okay. Purple's defiance goes down. That didn't solve anything. Because apparently, everyone else went up by 2 defiance each. Both purple and red have met their win conditions at the same time. There is currently 14 defiance when purple only needed 12, and there is currently 10 defiance when red needed 10. The only ones that don't win are green. I have no clue how it will decide who actually wins. But red and purple, one of you guys win. Okay. After a particularly long session at council, Eulalia comes to find you in your chambers. You did wonderfully today, darling. Sometimes those nobles just never stop talking. I sometimes wonder if they'd rather talk than work for the kingdom. I know exactly what you mean. I was thinking, what if we did something to make things better? I've been riding to a monastery in the coast. They're using a particular herb to treat wounds, but no one's doing it on a wide scale. If I had the equipment and regents, we could do all kinds of research to help people. Ordinary people too, not just the nobles with the money for doctors. She sighs and leaves your chamber. I wanted to help her, I really did. Dangerous roads. Your Highness, the merchants in the east are complaining about bandits. The eastern roads are too dangerous to travel, even with guards. There's no way for us to win here. You only have 1 vote. Have fun with that. Oh, look. It's a unanimous decision. Amazing. Gosh dang it. Wow, that went really badly for me. I know that I chose the I want 10,000 money in the treasury as a joke, but man, did that mess me up. Voting is closed. Hey, we succeeded, apparently. Oh my goodness. Purple wins. Because Purple's defiance went down since they had a successful operation. At the end of the season, Purple wins. The end of an era. Oh boy. Your Majesty, I'm here to tender my resignation. But why? The Chancellor is the last of your old inner circle. It all happened so quickly. The Treasurer's resignation was last week. The Spymaster vanished without a trace. The Marshal has come down with a mysterious illness, and your physician thinks she'll be dead within a week. I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but the Council has left me no choice. I am assured that my replacement will be most satisfactory. Goodbye, Your Majesty, and good luck. Don't I get to choose who replaces you? Perhaps if you had more authority, Your Majesty, but the Council has overridden you on this one. Fare thee well, old friend. You are left alone upon your throne. You wonder where your wife is, probably off praying somewhere. It's not like the two of you spend much time together these days. After a moment of bitter contemplation, the doors to the throne room swing open. Greetings, Your Grace. I shall be serving as your new spy master. And I am honored to be taking my place as your humble marshal. Shall we get right to it? First order of business. We think the best thing you can do right now for the good of both the kingdom and your health is to abdicate.
It's for the best. Grommery will make for a much better monarch, don't you think?
Behead this nincompoop. Your officers conspicuously failed to behead the nincompoop. Instead, they looked to Count Birdcatcher that dude as though awaiting his orders.
It's your best option, your highness. You've mismanaged the kingdom. Your authority is waning by the day. The nobles of the council are against you. Speaking as your spymaster, you'll be dead soon. Unless you gracefully give up the crown and go live on a farm somewhere, tending cabbages, shepherding your flock, etc. Sounds idyllic, right? We'll even give you an annual stipend to live off. At the taxpayer's expense, you'll never worry for money again. No catch.
No free money, no responsibility? Where do I sign? Your Majesty, this is the wisest decision you've ever made. You announce your abdication to the next day to gasps from the gathered crowd. Within a week, King Grommery has taken the throne. Within a month, you're living on a farm 10 miles from the closest village. No one out here knows your name or who you used to be. Eulalia divorced you, of course. First chance she got. She didn't marry the king just to spend her life as a farmer's wife. You are totally and utterly alone, except for the sheep. You don't hear much about how the kingdom is faring. You soon lose track of who's even on the throne. Instead of sleeping until mid-morning in a bed of silk, you're up at dawn mucking out the stables. Occasionally, some disease or disaster or grand war will sweep over your little slice of countryside, leaving nearby houses in ashes and friends in graves. That's just life. But then things will return to normal. And you know what? You're happy. Though sometimes, secretly, you do miss being king. Wow, achievement unlocked. Snakes in the grass. The former king lived out the rest of his days on a farm, far from the capital. It was a quiet life, but not without its pleasures. The barons withdrew support, and the wave of popular momentum behind General Rudolph petered out. He is soon just another bitter old soldier ranting that he could have been the king. All that remained of the patricians' attempt to usurp the crown was a prisoner deep under the palace, clad in an iron mask and shrouded in rumor. The counts eagerly occupied the power vacuum that King MrM left behind. With the coronation of King Grommery, they hoped to have an iron grip on the kingdom that wouldn't loosen for generations. Of course, as history shows time and again, such ambitions seldom go according to plan. Well, there we go. We'll go ahead and exit our game here. Thank you so much, people, for joining in on this. It's right at 9 o'clock. It's 9:04, so that's pretty good for us. We'll go ahead and leave this particular stream now and close out for the day. Well, there is not too much to talk about. Sure, I imagine that your sister is Jasmine, right? Listen, you name all of your accounts the exact same way. It's hard not to notice what's happening. No? Okay. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and close out here. I think we might be able to play on Friday. Oh, I see. You can't even... You didn't even spell their name right. Oh, I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay. Thank you for showing up, everyone. There's a chance that we'll play Friday. If we play Friday, we'll probably play a new game. So I'll probably go ahead and put out a... I see. Okay. I'll go ahead and put out a vote sometime later this week about what game we should play next. Because we have beaten Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and we've beaten the Sea of Thieves. So technically, we could pick either option and keep on playing them and see what's more. But I'll leave the option for us to potentially play as other games instead. So we're going to call it here. We're going to say so long, farewell, goodbye, be safe, get out, be seeing you, leave. Bye.